I'm a 45-year-old guy. Single, no kids. All names are fake. Okay, here is the short version. About 24 years ago, my then fiancée Ella, then 20, told me she was pregnant. I was over the moon. We had not set a wedding date yet, but now we wanted to wait until the child was 2 to 3 years old to be part of the wedding party. When she was about 7 months pregnant, my world shattered. A friend, let's call him Luke, told me that the child was his and not mine. This led to a physical fight, and Ella took his side. We were done. I broke up with her there. She moved in with Luke. I did demand a paternity test. If the child was mine, I demanded to be in its life. After the birth of the girl, the test was done twice. By a clinic I choose and one she chooses. It turned out she was not mine. I was destroyed and left town. She could have her life, I didn't want to witness it. And not to the present. A month ago, my work brought me back to my hometown temporarily for 2 weeks. I ran into Ella with her daughter Nikki, 23, at an impromptu school reunion. Ella wanted to catch up. I wasn't angry anymore, but I also did not see the point of being friends. I declined and mingled. After a while, I sat at a table, nursing a drink. Ella has already left, and Nikki sat at my table. She asked for 10 minutes to talk. She knew about my history with her mother. And it was clear that she resented her mother. Because Luke was also not her biological dad. Ella cheated on me with at least 2 people. 23 and revealed the real bio dad. He had passed away already. When Nikki was 7, Luke found out and kicked them out. And it became a scandal. Nikki was bullied her whole life for being the affair baby. Luke's family disowned her. All the cousins she was close with were gone all of a sudden. She blamed her mother. I asked her why she told me all of this. She said that I am someone who would understand this betrayal. And she is a product of that betrayal. She does not expect anything from me, she just needed someone to talk to who would understand. I felt for this kid, so we kept talking. We exchanged contact information and went our own ways. The next day, she wanted to talk more and vent more. So we met in the bar of the hotel where I was staying. We had drinks, and she ranted about her life. We talked till late, and when the bar closed, Nikki was too drunk to drive home, and since I didn't know where she lived, I couldn't even get her an Uber. So I took her to my room. I have the habit of always getting a room with twin beds. So she slept in one bed, and I slept in the other. Nothing happened. The next morning we had breakfast, and she left while I went to work. A few nights ago, I met Nikki in the bar because she had a lot to rant about. We also talked about her future, and she expressed interest in moving out of town to escape the stigma of being an affair baby. Here is where I am the asshole. I made a move on her one night. At first, she walked away. I thought I blew it, so I went up to my room. An hour later, she sent me a text asking if I was in my room. As soon as I answered yes, she knocked on the door. I was sober, she was sober, I had time to think. I could have sent her away, but I didn't. This is the daughter of my ex-fiancé. If I had never found out Ella cheated, I would have raised Nikki as my own daughter. But I found out, and Nikki is not my daughter. I never saw her as a baby, never saw her grow up, and I never saw her as a daughter. The first time I saw her was a week ago. So yes, I slept with her, and then again. Nikki is more vengeful than I am. She said she wanted to let her mother know, but she wasn't going to do it if I didn't want to. I was okay with letting her know. It took a little convincing to let her know. We took a picture together, clearly in bed, clearly naked but covered by sheets, and she sent it as a one-time view picture to her mother via Instagram message with the caption, "I can finally call him daddy." Ella called, and they got into a fight. Then she got into a fight with me, still over the phone. I thought I was over the betrayal, but it seems like I had bottled up everything, and now it finally came out. I had 4 more days there, and Nikki stayed in my hotel room those 4 days. Now I'm back home. Nikki is currently packing everything. She is going to move to another country to be away from her toxic environment. She will stay with me for a week, maybe more, before she flies away. She has had no contact with her mother. I have also blocked Ella on everything. Yes, Nikki and I are both broken. I refused therapy for years, but after that one outburst where I told Ella everything that was bottled up, I've decided that I do need therapy. I have suggested it to Nikki, and she said when she is settled, she will. I'm not even going to ask if I'm the asshole, I know I am.
My husband kept cheating on me so he can beat my body count. This is honestly so stupid. This whole entire situation is the dumbest thing I've ever been through, but I really need to talk. My husband and I met when we were in our mid-20s. In my late teens, early 20s, I went through a promiscuous phase. I had sex with probably 30-something men by the time I was 23 young. My husband's body count was just 9 and my husband had always been insecure about it, but my husband was the one that asked how many people have you had sex with, and I was honest about it because my husband didn't seem like the person to judge, but he was grossed out and said, "That's really gross, you let that many dicks inside you." I didn't think my husband would care so much about this, and I regret telling him my actual body count, but we worked past that and we never talked about my body count again. It's never been a discussion ever again. 7 years married, we don't have children. But over the past 5 years my husband has been having sex with other women and he can't stop. I just found out about his affairs several months ago. He started cheating on me when he was overseas and he was on dating apps having casual sex. It's so crazy because everyone from his work knows that he's married and no one cared to tell me what my husband was doing overseas. He was deployed 3 times and he used that time to have sex with other women. He's probably surpassed by body count. Honestly, I don't understand why women actually want to have sex with him knowing he's married. One girl even messaged him and said, "I'm going to replace your wife," and he texted back saying, "Oh, are you now?" Like, what the F? I'm in shock. Why did you do this to me? We have been married 7 years and built a life together. If you wanted to act single, then why didn't you get a divorce? He could never get over my body count. It was silently killing him on the inside. I guess it hurt his ego. He told me that he admits he wasn't as desirable to women when he was in his 20s, and now that he's in his 30s and has more life experience and he's older, women now find him more attractive, especially after working out he's had more attention from the opposite gender. I'm just like, okay? But you're married, and he said he shouldn't have gotten married in his 20s. He says it's unfair for him to say no to all the girls that want him now when they didn't want him before. He told me he realized women like older men who are more established in their career, and I believe him, and I also noticed they like stealing other girls' husbands as well. Anyways, the divorce is finalized. I just received my paperwork. I also been back in the States. He's still in Europe getting his dick wet. I stupidly contacted him a few days ago when I was drunk and he told me to get help, and then he blocked me on everything. I hate him so much, but I'm still not over this. I know I need therapy, but I just don't have the money for that. I'm unemployed and been staying with my family until I get back on my feet again. Edit. People keep telling me to report him for adultery. I actually did report it to his higher up, and they were kind of confused why I'm trying to get him in trouble. They assumed I was trying to steal my husband's money. My divorce is also finalized now, but honestly none of this even matters. Infidelity is so common in the military. Trust me, I tried to get him trouble for adultery and try to get compensated for his cheating, but I didn't have a case. They don't take UCMJ seriously unless if it's someone actually reported him for sexually harassment or rape, which didn't happen. You'd also have to be someone really important in the military, and that high-ranking member would also have to do something extreme like get someone pregnant for them to really care. But I did go to legals and presented text messages of the affairs, and they couldn't do anything about it. They informed me that this really isn't anything and I should keep moving forward with the divorce. They told me they know it sucks, but I need to move and leave with my dignity. Infidelity isn't going to hurt his career. I walked away gaining nothing from this divorce other than a heartbreak. This is unfortunately really common. I personally know a lot of people that cheated in the military, and the most common outcome was they would get divorced and receive child support, which everyone else is entitled to no matter what the reason for divorce is.
My pregnant fiancé is refusing to take a DNA test. Throwaway account. I don't post personal matters on my main account. My fiancé and I are not married yet, and I don't want to get married until the paternity of my alleged baby is established. My fiancé is 14 weeks pregnant, and I know a DNA test is possible during pregnancy, and I can wait until after she has the baby to find out if I'm the father. But she refuses to take a paternity test because she doesn't want to know who the father is, because if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and because I should be proud to be a father no matter the results, and that DNA doesn't make a family, love does. But I don't want to financially and emotionally invest in a baby that possibly isn't mine. I also told her I would refuse to sign the birth certificate because I don't want to be on the hook for child support if this baby isn't mine. My uncle signed a birth certificate and it turned out the baby wasn't his, but he was still responsible for child support since he signed the birth certificate, and he never got any of that money back, so I really don't want to be in that situation. Okay, sorry for the confusion. I realized I should have mentioned this in the beginning. My fiancé and I were on and off recently, but we were still intimate, and she was also intimate with someone else, but we got back together, and she found out she's pregnant, and we don't know whose baby it is. She says she also doesn't want to take a paternity test because she doesn't want the baby to be the other guy because he's a loser, she doesn't love him, and she wants to have the baby with me. I'm conflicted.